Okay, and as we go over this, we're going to go over some things that you've already learned about, just reinforce them, and then get the real specifics about it. So we've already talked about our lightest pencil, and our lightest pencil is our 2H pencil. So right now, with your 2H pencil, I would like you to use really heavy pressure to write your first and last name. And then label it 2H heavy. All right, and we'll do pressure for this one, and then we'll simplify it for the other ones. After you do that, I would like you to write your name, but use very, very light pressure. Just barely touch the 2H to the paper. After you have that, then you can use your eraser and try to erase your last name. Hopefully, if you have written it light enough with your 2H pencil, your last name will disappear entirely. You can see I pushed real hard with my 2H pencil up top with the heavy pressure, and my last name is still completely visible. So remembering with our 2H's, you need to use really light pressure. Also, if you feel it a little bit, sometimes you can feel that it's made a groove in the paper because the paper is kind of thick and it will get scored or scarred by your 2H very light pencil. Next, we're going to do the same thing with our 2B pencil. So use your 2B pencil with very heavy pressure and write your first and last name. And then we're going to try to erase our last names. And again, the same thing happened. I wrote nice and lightly with my 2B pencil, and it was completely gone, almost. I can see a little ghost of it up close, but when I pushed really heavy, then it stayed forever. But I did get a really nice dark tone, so in some cases, when you're ready for it, you can use your 2B to get very dark. All right, last we're going to do the same thing with our 6B pencil. All right, same thing, all labeled heavy and light, because what we're making right now is a chart to help you remember what the pencils do. And we'll just erase here. You can see that that 6B, it doesn't go. Both names are pretty clearly visible, even though I pushed as lightly as I was able to with the 6B. Okay. So we're going to set those practices aside, but keep your pencils out. And in your foldable, we go to the Tools and Techniques flap, and then you can just fold it up so that you can see everything. You can see where at the end of the hour we're going to glue your pencil pressure practice so that we don't lose it. But for right now, we're going to talk about your tools and media and give you examples for everything so that we can get this filled in. If you would like to use one of your drawing pencils to fill this in, please use your 2B, as that is easy to see and read. So let's talk first about tools and media. So your tools are the device. So the device, D-E-V-I-C-E. So the tool is specifically the thing that you're using. So it would be like an eraser, a paintbrush. Those are examples of tools. Now, the media is what makes the art, okay? So the device might be the pencil, but inside the media is graphite. That's what makes the art. So for media, you would write what makes the art. and examples of media are graphite, ink, acrylic, or paint. Those things are medias, right? So we've got devices and then media. Let's talk about our drawing pencils, and we'll start with the end of the drawing pencils and what all of the letters and numbers mean. We've already started to talk about this, but it's really helpful to write it down so that you can really remember what everything is. So with your drawing pencils, they have no erasers. And they have no erasers because we would just use them up and then we wouldn't want to use the pencil anymore. So we have separate erasers, and we'll talk about some of those in a moment. Like we've talked about, on the side of the pencil, there is a letter and a number on all of your pencils. We have an H or a B, sometimes an HB together. The H means hard, and the B means soft. So your hard pencils are going to be very light. Naturally, the graphite is more compressed, pushed together, and it will be a very light in value pencil. The soft ones are very dark. So B is for soft. When we take a look over here at the scale to remember what the different pencils are, you would start with the 9H is going to be very light. So your numbers will go up and down depending on how extreme the lightness or darkness is. So starting from 2B, which is sort of a medium pencil, right? So medium, and it just makes a medium tone, then as the numbers go up from H, it gets lighter. And as the numbers go up from B, it gets darker. So if we have medium here at 2B, then 2H is light. If you have a 9H, it is very light. Super hard, and it will be really hard to see, and it's going to scratch your paper a lot. The 6B is dark. And the 9B is very dark. We're only going to use these 3 pencils in class this year. They're a good starter. Last, we need to talk about your erasers. So erasers are used to remove graphite or media, and also used to lighten. So their purpose is remove or lighten, because they do both. Sometimes you've just made your value too dark and you just need to make it a little bit lighter in order for your drawing to be successful. Sometimes you need to completely remove something, and they can do both depending on, again, what type of pressure you use with your eraser. So your hard pencils, or excuse me, your hard erasers are removers. You can also use them a little bit to lighten, but they're definitely your removers. So your hard erasers are ones like the pink one and the white ones. Those are removers. Okay, and then your soft erasers, you use them to lighten. They're not good removers. The kneaded erasers, which are like this gray one here, are soft erasers. They are moldable, so after you get them dirty, you can fold them back in on themselves, and it helps to clean them off and give you a new surface to work with. And they also can just be used to lighten things. They will erase some, but they're not a heavy-duty eraser, so they're really good for when you've made something a little bit too dark or you're not transitioning. You can use it to help with your transitions. So this is the gray eraser. All right, so these are your tools and your media, and you need to take this and glue it right here. Thank you.